Good evening, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and I want to talk about marriage. The idea of marriage and why it has been important historically, what its actual role is, besides just a whimsical pledging of allegiance to another person. There's actually more to it, and I want to describe, like I said, in terms of history, why it's been super important. Before contraception, there was no other way besides female fidelity to a particular male to know who the father was during reproduction. It's kind of that simple. It's not even complicated. So contraception, the advent of contraception, has double edge to it. Some of it's positive, some of it's negative, and the positive parts are that women especially are empowered for the first time in human history in a large way to say who and when and where, and to actually have a sex life without risking their health and happiness by getting pregnant in an unexpected way, or getting pregnant 10 or 12 times and then dying in childbirth, which used to happen a lot. So it's not convenient or fun, to be frank, to abstain from sex for long periods. To be celibate is the word. So we have invented many ways to prevent conception from happening. In the olden days, it was a sheepskin. Condoms have been around for a long time. But the subject here isn't so much contraception; it's marriage and how contraception has changed the landscape of romance and lovemaking. Specifically, it has changed it so that people are able to engage in casual sex now, right? The widespread adoption of contraception, the normalization of it, the proliferation of all kinds of contraceptive technology has made recreational sex and sex for entertainment the norm. And turns out there's actually a word for this. That's lust. Historically, we've used the word lust to describe sex for entertainment, something outside of an expected relationship, or trying to have a family, or an intent to be with somebody in a permanent way. Lust is the temporary pairing of people, or group sex, which has also become common. And back to the subject of marriage. This is all connected to the subject of marriage. Nowadays, whether people realize it or not, they are not necessarily available if they're having some kind of open relationship with other people. Okay, especially if they're female. 100% if they're female. And the only way, even now, that a female can have any kind of group sex or open relationship or casual dating kind of thing is when she's specifically empowered by contraception. If you took the contraception away, she would have no option but to be loyal and faithful to a single man if she valued her health and happiness, because otherwise there's a huge liability. There's a risk if she gets pregnant, and if she's not interested in having an abortion, or if her life would be endangered by having an abortion, which honestly they're not 100% safe. They've become a lot safer in recent times, but she and her family would risk a huge injury if they did not know who the father was, because nobody would be able to be held accountable, right? Or nobody would be financially or morally responsible for that child. The child wouldn't know who their father was, the family wouldn't know, and it becomes an unsupportable financial burden, among other things. So, enter contraception. One more time. Contraception has changed the landscape of romance. It has created an atmosphere of group marriage. Really, if we're being honest, it comes down to people being involved with several people, females especially being involved with several people at a time, refusing to commit to a single person on principle, and unfortunately, the boundaries that used to exist, the traditional and healthy boundaries, honestly, they're healthy because they protect people and they create a loving framework and nucleus for a healthy, happy family. They have eroded. They have blurred to the point where a girl is now married to the house that she is living in, a young girl sometimes, and it's very sad and scary. And while it may not seem sad and scary in the moment, or even while she's living there, it becomes sad and scary when a prospective partner is uninterested because she is already spoken for. She She's not exclusive. She doesn't have exclusivity as something to offer. And I'll speak for myself that exclusivity of the female is an absolute requirement, because I'm not trying to have casual sex. It's not something I'm interested in. I want the real thing. I want the full picture with quality time and expectation of permanency. And if that has to be monogamous on my part, so be it. But I don't think that a man is necessarily bound by the same logical rules, because a man doesn't get pregnant. A man does not have the same liabilities and risks that a woman has who is fertile and able to get pregnant. So it's just, like I'm saying, I'm willing to even consider being monogamous myself if the right person were to show up. But the problem becomes with contraception and the erosion of boundaries. No woman is unmarried from a young age that I'm seeing. Maybe I'm only getting a small sample from my area here, but it's very sad and scary that no woman is available. She's already married to sometimes her own immediate relatives, and it's kind of spooky. I don't want to be rude, but no thank you. That's a yikes kind of thing for me. I don't want to even lead people on to think that that's something that I'm willing to do remotely. I would sooner be celibate all my life than be in any room with a naked man. Okay, that kind of is what it comes down to. If you're all having an orgy with group sex, knock yourselves out. I realize that's the thing that a lot of people do. I have zero interest. I have negative interest, in fact, in seeing men naked whatsoever. And I also, if I care about a girl, I'm not going to be comfortable watching her bang anybody else except maybe another female. I'm being very candid here, but not a male. And I stand by my comment that if you love a woman, you're not going to be comfortable watching her have sex with another man. Okay, you're in it for the sex, plain and simple. You're in it for recreational, getting your jollies, and you don't really care about that woman. I'm sorry. And you might be married to her. I'm going to ruffle some feathers with this. You might be married to this woman, and if you're doing wife swapping, that's a perfect example. If you're doing wife swapping or any number of things that involve your wife or girlfriend sleeping with another dude, and you're rationalizing it to say it's okay somehow, she's not being treated right. That's not proper. That should feel improper because it is improper. It's a violation of one of the most basic rules of animal reproduction, which is non-random mating. Okay, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be comfortable with that. And this has become normalized. Final thing I'll say, just before 8 minutes. It has become normalized that a girl is married to her family or someone else, some third party, multiple parties, from a very early age, and it's unfortunate. It makes me very sad. And I'm hoping, honestly, my hope at this point in life is that I'm going to find some other culture where people are less promiscuous. Promiscuous is the word, and I mean generally for females, because again, men don't get pregnant, so it's a little bit different for men. It's supposed to be, and it is a double standard. You're right. It's a double standard, but men and women are like apples and oranges when it comes to romance and reproduction. We're built differently. We have different roles in reproduction. To say that we should and are the same, it makes no sense. So, if you have a requirement that a man get with your friends, especially your male friends, you can count me out categorically. I'll just go on record, 100%. Not trying to see any naked men under any circumstances. Pretty much ever. I stand by that. So take care and enjoy yourselves. Know what's good. And final thing I'll say is this orgy atmosphere that I think a lot of people indulge in is the lowest point of energy when alcohol is in the mix. It looks to me like people have basically just reclined into the lowest point of energy. They've built their lives around alcohol. We're going to have alcohol, which means at some point nobody's going to be responsible anymore, right? When you drink, you lose your volition, you lose your impulse control, your inhibitions fly out the window. So the lowest point of energy is all bets are off, everybody's getting banged. Worst case scenario, we're just going to accept it and embrace it. No thank you. I'm happily sober myself, and I see a better life for myself and other people that doesn't involve just being completely irresponsible. I'm going to think about tomorrow, among other things. So reach out if you like with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.